I am Narayanarao, VV, from Hyderabad. I contacted Baba in the year 1952. I was one of the 25 persons called from Andhra for the repentance prayer ceremony. That is taking place at Meherabad on 7th, 8th and 9th of November. We all gathered on 7th, and we all reached the place on 7th evening. On 8th, the ceremony was conducted. Baba said, all of you should forget your homes. You must be here bodily, not only bodily, mentally and spiritually. I have come down from the divinity to your level as one of you. So you must be very careful and concentrated all the time. The remittance prayer is going on. That is over. Then we all had our singing and other things went on that evening. The next day, he again gave some messages. For the first time, when I saw him in the hall, when we got down, he embraced each one of us. He was so sparkling. I think I was almost dazed to look at him. Then he hugged me. Something went in my mind. I thought I got now some lost link, some forgotten friend or father, whatever it is, I can't explain. That was the feeling or experience I had. Then on 9th evening, when we had to get out, Baba said, all Andhra group 25 should come to me. We all went in a queue. Then one by one, he asked, what do you want? Do you have got anything to ask? It was blank. My mind was blank. I didn't ask anything. But one peculiar thing happened. That is, on the previous evening, one of his best disciples, Raja Muhammad, he was hugging him and gave him a fruit. It somehow passed in my mind, oh, how fortunate that gentleman was. Like that, you see, something happened. Then while going away, then he said, he called me back, he threw a fruit on me while going. I said, you must take it home. Only you and every member of your family should take it. No one should say, to mind that, go straight home and join your family. That was the instruction. Then afterwards, that was in 1952 November. Then 1953, I was one of the few organizers. I was one of the few organizers. Then Baba then called me. I went to him. Then he said, is he your son? Yes, Baba, I said. Then you see, have you got any objection if he is allowed to be with me for these 7 days or 8 days during my tour in Andhra? Is there an objection? He said, no, Baba, nothing. Has your son got an objection? I think no, he won't have any objection. When are his examinations? He said. His examinations are in the month of March. So, you please bring him tomorrow morning to the travelers bungalow where I am. Yourself, that is parents, both of you should come along with him with some clothes for him. So the next day morning, we took my boy to Meher Baba at the travelers bungalow. Baba, very often, constantly almost I can say, every year used to receive 4 or 5 letters through Urich, saying, Baba inquires how his dear Kumar is, and all of you. He is very anxious to see you again in 1954 Darshan. And if possible, if it doesn't interfere with your official duties, you please yourself and Kumar be with me during my tour. That's what Urichi wrote to me. But of course, 1954, my official duties were so very embarrassing that I could not I could not be with him always. But of course, I was throughout the tour. I was accompanying, but not always. For Baba's tour in Andhra in 1953, then he came. Baba and his party, 40 people, have come over to Tadepalligudem, and from there he began his tour of the district. He went to several places, and on the way it so happened that he picked up certain one boy, that is my son, from the big crowd. He didn't know that he was my son. Then he asked me, have you got an objection if I take the boy along with me for the 7 days tour? I said, no, Baba, no objection. Then he asked the boy, have you got an objection because your examinations are approaching? He said, no, Baba. Then he took him in the car. And he told me, mind that you see, you give him some clothing and all that. I will hand over the boy to you again at Ellore. He said, and they had the tour. That tour was over. Then on the last day, he sent a wire to me. I was working as revenue division officer in Amalapur. Then I came over to Ellore. He handed over the boy to me. And that trip was over. Then most important thing is, in 1954 again, we arranged a darshan program for the several districts. That is Guntur, Krishna, West Godavari, East Godavari. Baba and his disciples, about 40, they all came over there. I was in charge of the arrangements at Kakinada, where I was stationed as the personal assistant to the collector. There, we arranged it so nicely. Baba was very much pleased with what we have done. One morning, we all had to assemble at 8 a.m. Suddenly he sent word saying, oh, call Narayanarao. I rushed there. It was about 6 a.m., just no sunrise at all. Then I was sitting there. Suddenly asked me, what is that you are thinking about? I said, Baba, it's so very pleasant, you see. We are so very fortunate to be very near to you, he said. Then another gentleman was there. He also asked me similarly. Then he went round. He went round the arrangements and all that. He saw his disciples very much pleased with our arrangements. That was the tour there. Then, in the last day, I asked him, Baba, when you leave your body, how have we to have the contact with you? Then everybody laughed and heckled. Baba said, no, you put a very important question. You see, he means that when I leave my body, how you should retain the contact afterwards. Then he explained. You see, when you are hungry, you take food. When you are not hungry, you don't think of food. Similarly, when you are working, doing your regular government duties, you see, put your whole mind into it. Go on working. And when that is over, immediately switch on. Think of me. Switch on, think of me. He said. So early in the morning when you rise up, think of me. Then